Right, hello there. Welcome to my Let's Learn the Track series on iRacing. This season, we're going to be covering the BMW 12.0 series, which is kindly sponsored by simrigs.com. So please check out their website in the video description. Now, videos will be published weekly to coincide with the track changeover, and the intention of this series is to help you gain back that lost time. So this isn't a place for hot laps, this is a slow, methodical approach to learn the track, showing you my braking markers and my reference points. And as always, please let me know in the comments if this helps and you've managed to gain any time. Thanks for watching. Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Let's Learn the Track from the beautiful Sebring circuit. If you're not familiar with Let's Learn the Track, I'll just explain. So this is a track guide essentially in the BMW 12.0 series on iRacing. What we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of slow laps. I'm going to show you what I use as reference points around the circuit and braking points, and then we're going to slowly pick up the pace, and I'm going to show you those reference points, braking markers in action on a couple of flying laps, hopefully. I'm using iRacing default weather, which I will put on screen now. I will say though that this session, I think the sim time is round about 7 p.m, something like that, 10 past 7. Well, actual session time for the week is 1940, so the sun will have set a little bit more, but it's not quite dark enough to put the session as sunset on this one. So we'll do it a bit earlier and you can see the track a little bit better anyway. So the only thing I'm going to change in this is the brake bias. I'm going to knock that down to 51.1 for this one. So anyway, enough waffling. Let's get on track. So here we are then on pit lane here at Sebring. In the bottom right hand corner, you'll see the in-car adjustments. The brake pressure bias is at 56.9 by default. So I'm going to dial that down to where I like it at 51.1. Now, the lower the number, the more brake force there is at the rear of the car. So you are less likely to lock the front wheels with a lower number. However, if you are trail braking into a corner, then there's more braking at the rear. If the front of the car is loaded and you are turning, then there is a chance that you may over-rotate and spin. So just bear that in mind and find the number that you're happy with. Right, so pit exit at Sebring isn't too bad really. There's a set of cones on the left-hand side here. So if you need to pit in the BMW 12.0 series, you've either had a penalty that you haven't cleared or you've got damage and you've come in for your fast repair. So pit exit, just bear in mind, keep an eye on your relative box, which is F3 by default. Just have a look at cars coming around here, because when you exit, you will merge on the exit to turn 1. So just bear that in mind. So coming out of the pit, you can pretty much take a left straight after this first cone there. We'll talk about turn 1 next time by. But essentially, we're going to be approaching this next section on this side of the circuit. You'll see these cones on the right hand side. So there's the 3 cones there. That's going to be our braking marker for this section here, or just after. So we're going to be on the right hand side of the circuit, and we're going to be braking down into second gear, trail braking all the way down. Follow the darker section of tarmac around here pretty much. Don't clip this curb on the left hand side if you can help it, but you can clip this one on the right a little bit. But just make sure that you have a neutral throttle as you go over that, because if you do have a lot of gas at that point, then the car may well get unsettled and you could spin out at that point. So then for this turn, what I like to do is I like to drop it in quite deep, just there where the lighter piece of concrete is there actually, on the tarmac. So kind of follow that line, and then I like to apex this one very late, just being patient, and then power out all the way up the straight, because whatever speed you carry out of that turn, you're going to carry all the way up here, and this is one of the main overtaking opportunities at Sebring into this tight right-hander here. So we're going to move the car over to the left-hand side, and again we're looking at the cones. And what I use is the first set of cones there. There's 4 of them. It's these ones here. So this is what I use as my braking marker, or just after. But if you keep those in mind as your braking marker, you shouldn't go far wrong. So we're going to be braking in a straight line on the left hand side of the circuit all the way down into first gear for this one, and we're going to be turning in quite late. And then we're going to be clipping this inside curb and then accelerating out, clipping that curb on the left, and then follow the road all the way around to the right. Try not to clip the curbs too much at Sebring if you can help it. Then move the car over to the left hand side, and then we're braking here in between the 4 cones and the 3 cones. What you want to do here is you want to have a nice tight line around this right hand turn. So there's a right and then a left, and the way you exit this right turn dictates how well you accelerate out of the left, and then there's another left. And there is a tendency, or a temptation rather, to clip the curbs on the left hand turn after this. So it's very important that you get a good exit out of this one. So it's in between the 4 and the 3, so we're braking down into second gear, nice and tight around this one, because you want the car over to the right hand side ideally, or in the centre of the circuit. Again, don't clip that curb and don't clip this one, and let the car just drift naturally out wide to the right. Then we want the car back over to the left. Now, this is one of the turns on the track where less is definitely more. It's really, really easy to get greedy into this turn, but the exit here is far more important than entry. You're not really going to make a move into this turn, really. People don't give it up very easily here at Sebring. So we're going to be braking here between the 3 and the 2, and we're going to be braking down into second gear. So braking here, and nice early turning because there's a horrible bump. Again, don't clip that curb if you can help it, and then accelerate out. Again, this is another one of those turns where it's followed by a long straight, so whatever speed you can carry out of that right hand turn, you are going to carry it all the way up here. So we're going to clip that curb on the inside, and we're going to clip the curb again on the inside and get the car nice and straight at this point. And we're going to be braking at or just after the 3 cones there. Now this is a section where you can gain lots of time if you clip the inside curb here on this right, but that does have its own risks, and the risks are a slowdown penalty. So you can clip it, you can cut it, but not too much. So then we're going to be braking in a straight line into third gear, and we're going to be going on the inside of this curb there, and then accelerating out. And then we're going to be in third gear still, then we're going to be braking just at the end of that curb down into second. A nice early turn in. You can cut this one a little bit and then run wide, but bear in mind, as soon as you go on the grass after that curb, you will get a 1x. So then it's a run up to Sunset. Now this corner, this turn, I think I have a different line through here every single lap, but the best way I can explain how to go around this turn is I treat it as 2 separate turns. So there's this first turn, and then I imagine a very, very short straight in between this turn and the next one. So you take this first part, and then you brake in a straight line, and then you do the second part of Sunset onto the start-finish straight. So here, my reference point there is the 2 cones. That's when I'm going to start my turning and braking. And then we're going to be going toward the inside wall, and then we're going to be braking in a straight line now, and then we're going to be in third gear, and then we're going to be accelerating out, being patient and trying to clip this inside apex as best you can. Let the car run out wide, but don't go on that grass over the start finish straight. Now turn 1, it's a bit sparse with regards to what to use as a turning point or braking marker, but what I use is I look at the wall there on the right hand side, and as the wall goes down, you can see there's a slight curve there where there's an indentation almostly on the wall. So the wall goes down and then there's a curve up there. That's what I'm using as my braking and turning point. So we're going to be in 5th gear, and at that point we're going to be braking down into 4th gear. So it's round about there, just at this point there. You'll see it when you're on a flying lap yourself. Then we're going to be braking in 4th gear and then turning in, and then if you look on the fence on the inside, you will see the cone That's the apex for turn 1. That's where you want your car up against the wall. Then when you get to the apex, try and accelerate out as much as you can. Let the car naturally just move out toward the outside curb. And then accelerate down to this section once again. So we're braking at the 3 cones. We're going to brake it in a straight line. Don't cut this inside curb there, but you can run over this one with a neutral throttle, then brake in. There's the concrete. We're going to be turning in a bit earlier than I did that time. We'll do that on a flying lap. Then accelerate all the way up this straight, up to the hairpin turn, the right hand hairpin. Move the car over to the left. And we're going to be braking at the 4 cones there. So we're braking all the way down into first gear, turning in quite late, clipping that inside curb there. Get on the gas nice and early. Again, whatever you carry out of there, you've got to carry it all the way up here. Then clip this curb on the left and get the car over to the left hand side. And we're going to be braking between the 4 and the 3. So we're braking there, down into second gear, nice and tight around this first part. And then accelerate out. Resist the temptation to go too close to those curbs, because it will unsettle the car there. Braking between the 3 and the 2. Less is more, remember, here at this turn. The exit is far more important than entry. That one. So accelerate all the way up here. Cut this inside curb there. Up to 5th. Cut this inside curb. We're going to be braking at the 3. Down into 3rd gear. Then we're going to be clipping this inside curb or cutting it a little bit. Then accelerate out. Now at the end of this curb we're going to be braking down into 2nd gear. Getting on the gas nice and early for the run up to sunset. So the tyres are still cold, so we can't really push on too much. So then we're looking for the 2 cone. We're treating this as 2 corners, remember. So we're going to be braking at the 2, turning in, down into 3rd gear, braking in a straight line, then turning in the second part of sunset, get on the gas, try and clip that inside curb, and accelerate out. So we're looking for the wall. Just keep your eye on the wall on the right hand side. You will see the mark on the right hand side, or the indentation. There it is. So there. So 4th gear. Aim for that apex on the inside. There's the cone. Accelerate out. Tyres are still really cold. And braking at the 3. Down into 2nd gear. Nice and tight around this first part. Clip this inside curb there. And brake in. And accelerate. Get on the gas early there. Late apex. You want to carry all that speed up the straight. So move the car over to the left, braking at the first set of cones, all the way down into 1st gear. Late apex. Tyres are still cold there, couldn't get on the brakes as hard as I wanted to, it was starting to lock up. So by the end of this lap, hopefully the tyres should be nice and warm. So we're braking between the 4 and the 3, down into 2nd gear, nice and tight around this first part. Get on the gas. Resist the temptation to go too close to those curbs. The car will be loose there. Up to 4th, so braking between the 3 and the 2. Less is more, remember. Then accelerate all the way out. Car over to the right hand side, because you want to move it then to the left to clip this left. Up to 5th gear and clip this inside curb. Then braking at the 3, down into 3rd gear. Cut that inside curb there, accelerate. At the end of this next curb we're going to be braking down into 2nd. Nice early turning. Try and get on the gas as early as you can. Then accelerate out. Right, we'll try and pick up the pace a little bit for this next lap. So we're braking at the 2 cones and turning in. We're braking there. Treat it as 2 corners. Get the car straight, then apply the brakes a little bit more when the car's in a straight line. Let the car run right out wide. Right. Try and do a flying lap if we can. So braking at where the wall, there's an indentation, that's too wide, but it's okay. You can still carry a bit of speed through there. So braking at the 3, down into 2nd gear. So we clip that curb there and brake, turning quite late, and get on the gas early. Be mindful of that curb on the exit to that turn. If you get your rear wheel on there, you will lose control there, it will spin. So braking here at the first set of cones, 4 of them. So braking hard, in a straight line, late apex, clip that inside curb, get on the gas, nice and early, that's it. And accelerate all the way out. Move the car over to the left, so we're braking between the 4 and the 3, down into second gear. Nice and tight around this first part. Car will get loose here. And then braking at the 3 or just after. Less is more. So I think race pace might be in the 57s here this week. I won't get anywhere near that with this lap. So braking at the 3, cut this inside curb. And then at the end of this curb on the left hand side we're going to be braking down into second. Getting on the gas as early as we can for the run up to sunset. Again, this is another overtaking opportunity here. So this is where a lot of carnage will be here. So looking for the 2 cone, we're going to be turning in, we're going to be braking. Imagine a straight line there. And get the car back, look for that second apex. We'll get on the gas. And that's a flying lap of Sebring. There's a lot of time left on the circuit there. So that was a 59.2. I was into the 58s in practice, so there's a lot of time to be had still here at Sebring. But if you look and stick to those braking markers, then you should be pretty much bomb-proof. Just play about with the brake bias, find the number that suits you. So there we go, that's this week's Let's Learn the Track from Sebring. Let me know in the comments if you wouldn't mind. Has this helped? Have you had a win? If you have, let me know. It's always good to know if you've improved your lap times. So anyway, thanks for watching. This series is sponsored by simrigs.com. So please have a look in the video description at their website. Nice guys, sell all things sim related. So anyway, have a good week, good luck. See you later. Cheers.